I'm telling Jesus, like, okay, you got me. Once upon a time, we used to have Americans who would fulfill Christmas wish lists of orphans for me. I would ask the kids in the children's homes what they wanted for Christmas, and I would send those requests to my Santa's workshops in the U.S., and they would buy those products and get them to me, and then we would wrap them up and make sure that the kids got what it is that they wanted. And because I know that there'll be kids added to that list who I haven't had a chance to ask for their specific wish, I would always add, like, girl age 10 and boy age 4, so that we would have some extra gifts we could use to wrap up, so that on Christmas morning everybody had something just for them. And the day came when the women showed up and they had hundreds of gifts, and we were kind of just big Santa's workshop. We were wrapping gifts and making our lists and checking it twice. And after we had wrapped everybody's gift that had specifically asked for something, I had a table full of leftover gifts and a list of leftover names. And I had still asked those new kids what it is they wanted, in case we could, as best as we could, match up something of their interest with something that we had extra. Here's about 16 names and their wish lists, and so do your best to shop off this table and wrap up something for them. And I can remember the first, I gave them that assignment, and I turned around to do something else, and I heard them cheer. And I just looked over my shoulder, and they were really excited because somebody had asked for a Justin Bieber backpack, and there was a Justin Bieber backpack on the table. And they were like so excited that had happened. And I just kind of smiled, thinking, oh, that's the kindness of God. And then a few minutes later, they cheered again because somebody wanted roller skates, and we had like a size 8 pair of roller skates. And that was kind of a specific request, and it got my attention, but I was doing something else, and they continued to cheer every few minutes. And by the time they'd cheered 10 times, everyone was paying attention to them, because one by one, there was a soccer ball when someone wanted a soccer ball, and there was a Lego kit when someone wanted a Lego kit, and there was a Barbie car when someone wanted a Barbie car. And it now was like the central main attraction of this whole great big multi-purpose room. And as we were getting to the end of the list, I'm telling Jesus, like, okay, you got me. Like, if somebody, I've now seen you do all kinds of things. And we got to the very last child, and we were all like just on pins and needles, and the list said that they wanted a Hot Wheels set. And we all kind of groaned, because we'd been staring at that table for about 30 minutes at this point. We all knew there was not a Hot Wheels set on that table. Plus, those boxes would have been too big for somebody to have transported in their suitcase. And so I'm quickly telling everybody, no worries, I'm going to find a Hot Wheels set. Don't worry, everybody's going to have a great thing this year. I'm just working it hard to come up with a backup plan to make God look good, frankly. And this lady starts crying, and she goes running into a dorm room. And I'm thinking, oh, this probably touched something in her. She's asked God for something specific, and God isn't answering. So I go in there to start to think I could minister to her, and she's sitting on the bed, and she's crying, and I'm rubbing her back, like, you know what? God hears your prayers, and He will answer Anyway, I'm like saying all this stuff. And she's like, no, it's not that. And then she tells me that she had gone shopping for the list that she had been given, and she had taken her adult daughter that had some disabilities with her on that shopping trip. And her adult daughter participated in the picking out of those gifts, but had insisted on buying something that wasn't on the list. And she said, I just kept thinking as she put it in the cart, when we get up to the checkout counter and she's not paying attention, I'm going to slip it to the lady and say, I don't want to buy this. But when I tried to do that, she noticed what I was doing. And so as she began to throw a fit in the checkout line, I thought, forget it, I'll just buy it, keep my receipt, and later when she's not with me, I'm going to go return it, because this is not on the list and this is too much to take. So she said I went ahead and bought it, and she was sitting on the floor of my bedroom while I was packing, and I had hidden it under the bed so that she wouldn't even know that she was looking among my things and asked where the gift is that she had specially picked out. And so I just thought, fine, I will bring it. But she said, then we got here, and I felt kind of embarrassed because it was so big, so I just hid it underneath my mattress. And then we stood up, and she pulls out from underneath her mattress a Hot Wheels set. And she was at this point sobbing, really, that God would choose to use her adult daughter in that very special way to accomplish the need of a child that she would never meet. And I was watching it all go down, thinking to myself, is this really happening? I know that you care about the lilies and the sparrows and the hairs on our head, and I know my Bible tells me you care about details. But Lord, you are doing so many things at one time now. I'm going to take this Hot Wheels set out there, and these women are never going to forget this moment. And that child's going to open up that Hot Wheels set and think, there's a God who heard my prayer. But you're also talking to this woman who's wondering, does God use my daughter in his story? And only God can write stories like that. I've said for a long time that love is in the details, that God is communicating to them a message. I see you, I hear you. You're worth the effort, you're worth the work. What's important to you is important to me. And when I execute that kind of intentionality in love, I just reflect to God who first showed that kind of love to us. I've told that story a million times. I don't know why I still cry sometimes.